Danny Martin, Executive Director, founder of Geekletes.
Base guard Cliff, two-way power forward.
Let's go. All right. So this is your first time here.
Yep, it is.
Perfect. What's your first thought process about being here?
I think it's a pretty dope setup. I know for me, I'm from Maryland, so for me, it's just kind of an easy way to get to meet people.
Exactly.
And
how long you been down here?
About a month and a half.
About a month and a half?
Yeah.
So tell us something about Maryland.
It's cold.
It's cold.
It's cold.
Did you come down here for the weather, or what was your purpose of coming on out here?
Long story short, graduated from college. I was in a rotational program. They put me here for a year.
Okay.
Then they moved me to Toledo, Ohio.
Okay.
And I said, there's much better places. I know I just came from one, so
sure.
I just got back to Dallas. So.
Awesome.
So weather definitely plays a part. Coming from Ohio.
For sure. So have you got a chance to meet a lot of individuals since you've been out here?
A decent amount.
For sure. You're doing really good by going to the 2K community. Yeah. The individuals within the 2K community are pretty dope.
Mm-hmm.
You know? So that's a cool thing. That's why, I've been traveling around in different type of gaming industries. And from my perspective, it's like 2K, the 2K community is really immersive and they're really passionate in what they do. Not to say no one else is passionate, but it's if you like basketball, this is like a good community to be in regards to the video game.
Agreed.
So from that dynamic, how you feel about the combine?
I feel like it's gone pretty well.
For sure. Do you like the scales? Do you like the sliders? Do you feel like?
Oh yeah, the gameplay is much better. Like because essentially me and all my friends made it to the combine.
For sure.
And we all said like if we could play pro-am like this with these sliders,
oh man,
it'd be insane. And we'd even like to see kind of like a mode like this next year where you only have a certain amount of archetypes you can go to and the same like similar sliders.
Exactly.
And it's just
everybody is on the same.
Short and sweet. It exposes people who aren't good who play within exploits of the game.
Exactly.
And for me, I enjoy that because it's like, oh, you're supposed to be good, but you're terrible in the combine. That's probably because they take away
all the
half court cheese and dribble packages and that type of stuff. So I love it.
So you are a little less than 500 in regards to your win-loss ratio. Why do you feel that that's the case?
Wait, I'm not less than 500.
Yeah, Speak on it.
I don't think that I was less than 500. I mean, we can...
You 30, you're something in 19. 35 and 19?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's not less than 500.
Yeah. Tell me.
If I was less than 500, wouldn't that be like 11 and 12?
Yeah.
I've won more games than I've
won
lost.
More. So I'm trying to think. Hold up.
So if I was 60-4, if I was 6-4 out of 10 games, I'd be 60%.
You're right. Totally. On me.
It's alright. Don't
judge me.
I'm a finance guy. So I was doing the math in my head. I'm like,
hold on. Yeah.
I'm like, I've had a crazy win streak, but
yes, totally. Okay.
It's all good.
Okay.
It's
so from that dynamic, why do you feel like you have such a good record?
The big part for me is we don't lose the rebounding battle. Mm-hmm. It's hard to lose a game when you don't lose the rebounding battle, which is kind of goes into the reasons of why I have a two-way rebounding power forward. Mm-hmm. But for me, it's just like if you're limiting teams to one possession and you're getting multiple offensive possessions,
for sure,
then just kind of the math on that is if you make a decent amount of shots, you'll win the game. So I've been lucky enough to have good teammates more often than I've had bad teammates. So that's a big piece as well.
For sure. Dope. So does Mike play a good role for you? Like when you come across individuals that do not have a mic?
How often? Pretty often. So out of my 40 plus games, I probably have 5 to 10 where everyone's had a mic. Mm-hmm. For some reason, most times my center doesn't have a mic, which is kind of difficult just because playing the power forward position, you kind of have to be in sync to not clog the paint and figure out who's doing on-ball screens versus off-ball screens and things of that nature. But just kind of on the defensive end, I think it helps a lot with switching and just kind of if you gamble with telling someone to pick your man up. So I think it adds a level of difficulty if everyone on your team doesn't have mics.
Exactly, for sure. So what made you choose your archetype?
So again, kind of a backstory, but my player that I created was a wing. And like I said, I have a regular Pro-Am team, United Hairlines. And essentially with that, we had good wings. Yeah, so we had good wings, but we didn't. We kind of had a rotating 4 spot. And in that, I was just like, well, we can always find wings. I'll just move to the 4. So I've been the 4 probably the last 2 or 3 months, essentially, at this point. So when it came down to the combine, I was just like, I'm used to playing here at this point. And then I just think it's a more important position in terms of if you dominate that position, you're in a good position to win, essentially. So, like I said, for me, it's kind of like a slept-on position in 2K. And for me, it's just like, I feel like it's pretty easy to dominate that position because a lot happens there. Like, you can kind of get the lane clogged up, like on defense. With the center, like you can help out, like you have a little more agility than a center. For me, it was the kind of the position that I feel like I can guard 1 through 5, kind of given and switch situations and that. For sure,
because that was unique. You don't really come across individuals that have your archetype, so it gave me a little dynamic on how you play itself. Which you guys have good spacing and you take some really good selection shots. Yeah, and I can definitely tell from that dynamic. So, what advice would you give individuals in regards to the combine? Like if they wanted to next year or next season or so, like what advice would you give them going in?
It's not about shots, it's not about points. Do the other things that matter. So kind of like you spoke on, like I try to pride myself on only taking good shots. Like a two-way rebounder, they don't have the greatest offensive game. For sure. So for me, I try to focus on mid-range dunks, things of that nature. Because another thing I like to pride myself on is through 40-something games, I've never had a shooting percentage less than 50%. For sure. And for me, that, like I said, it's not about the points. It's like there's rebounds, there's steals, there's blocks, there's things that you don't notice. Just kind of picking up someone when they miss a defensive assignment. So just focus on the little things. And it's like, I don't know what 2K is looking for in the combine, but I played basketball all my life, and I'm addicted to making the right play and getting wins.
Like, and that's good. That differentiates yourself. Speaking on differentiates yourself, what's something that you've done that's innovative, that separates yourself from everyone else, even the individual that has the same thought process as you?
Like I said, I mean, I think my process is just a little different. I mean, I know a lot of guys play basketball a lot, but like I said, I played at not college high levels, but AAU high levels, like top tournaments, like starting point guards for top 10 countries in the team and in the country. Sorry, and for me, it's all about IQ. You can know how to do a pump fake and spin moves and all these different types of things, but it's like the small things about knowing where to be on the court, like just kind of genuinely learning and loving like the little nuances of playing basketball that don't necessarily come up on the stat sheet, but small things like if a guy's driving and you kind of hedge a little bit off your man and makes him pick up the dribble, pass it to somewhere else when he otherwise would have had a small exactly he would have had an easy dunk. So like I said, a lot of the things that I think differentiate me don't necessarily come up on the stat sheet, and it's something you kind of just have to watch the game and say, like that was a headsy play right there. So. For sure.
So talk to us about your worst game that you've had on Combine so far. It involves a funny story. It involves something that made you really, really pissed.
Okay, this guy and I've got to give this guy a shout out. His name's like Will. It's Il-Will X83, 84, 81. Okay. Destroy me. Destroy me. It was the one time I was like, all right, I didn't play. I think I had I think I scored well, so it was like I had like 19 points, but he probably had like 40. And it was just like I said, the points I don't really care, but it's like I got destroyed on the boards, and it's just like I wasn't used to it because it was like I was coming off like a 20 rebound game. It's just like I'm like, I'm getting the hang of this. Yes, like I'm dominating now, and it's like.
So what do you think? Specifically that made him just so good in regards to you.
His offensive, I think the way he moved with his player was pretty smooth. So it was like just kind of his timing was impeccable, really. Kind of right before the shot gets up, to kind of get in position on me and stuff like that. And it was just like I said, it was the only time in 40 plus games I was like, man, this guy's dominating. Yes. And it was like through the second quarter, through third quarter, I'm like, man, like I'm trying and nothing's working. And That was easily like stands out. Like I literally had to like look him up on Twitter. I was like, no, this guy. I'm like, he has to stream these games. He has to do something because he's too good to.
Did you find any information on him?
Yeah. So like I said, and trust me, there were worse games than So after I saw what his numbers were, I felt a little better about mine because he was putting like 50 and 60 on people's heads. So it was like I was like, okay, he probably got about 30 on me. So okay, but yeah, that's definitely.
Did it definitely make you want to get better and better?
Oh, yeah. So it made me, like I said, just kind of trying to figure it out. Just like, man, like how was he getting, like certain positions on me? Like he was, like I said, he was kind of instinct to know when shots were going up and just, in 2K, all you need is kind of like a little inch on your man to be able to get the box out and stuff like that. And it was a level that I hadn't seen before and then essentially since then.
Yes,
so.
For sure. So I always like to ask individuals this question.
Okay.
If you had to ask one question to any of the managers, who would that manager be? And what would that question be?
That's a great question. Wasn't ready for it, but I mean, I'm here in Dallas, I guess.
Okay,
so,
for sure. So Roger.
I'd ask Roger. Yeah, I knew his name. I follow him on Twitter.
Okay.
But yeah, I'd ask Roger. Kind of, what are the dynamics? I mean, because I know, essentially, it's like you want to take the best players, but kind of what is that breakdown versus guys that are already in your city, already in your state, across seas, regionally already near you, across the country, because I think that's something that they'll definitely be cognizant of as they draft their team. So if you have two people already based in Dallas on your team and you like a third, but you kind of have it in the back of your mind, like, oh, well, this guy in Dallas may be better, but there's this guy in Utah who may not be as good, but it's a different element to my team.
Exactly.
Kind of how do you weigh those things?
How do you weigh those things? That's perfect. So I'm guessing since you're in Dallas, if you had to actually you just got here, so this makes this question even more valid. What team would you want to get drafted by?
Miami would be nice.
Miami
would be nice, but I mean, Dallas just for the sake of the stress of just moving and then having to move everything again.
Exactly.
I say Dallas for the simplicity of that because that's a headache in itself. So
dope. So, have you ever played Pro-Am in a live perspective before in regards to 5 players against another 5 players in one live setting?
No.
Okay, that's dope. So I have to tell you, this is what we're going to be trying to work on. When after the combine, so you're going to see. So would you be available if I say, hey, like we ready to do it? I got some teams that want to be a part of it.
Yeah. Only thing, like I said, shout out to United Airlines. They're always first. but if something comes along, it's a case by case, a situation. Sure. You want to, what I'm saying? If you want to rent me for a tournament, then I'm open to that. But at the end of the day, it will always be United Airlines, Elite 3. You know what I'm saying? In less than 100 games.
Yes.
So I always got to stay loyal to the squad. But
yes, I feel that.
But if you call me,
for sure,
and the situation made sense, I'd be down because I think this is a dope environment.
Dope. So from that perspective, like going back to Pro-Am, are you essentially utilizing the same archetype from right now as you would be in Pro-Am? I think you stated it just a little bit, but are you going to try anything else? Are you going to try any archetypes within this actual combine just to even see? I know you got your games in.
Yeah, so I started off, so it took me about probably 5 to 10 games before I even got to two-way rebounder. Okay. So I started with athletic finishing rebounder, and then I went to sharpshooting rim protector, which made sense and which all my buddies were telling me to do because in our regular games I'm a pure sharp, so it kind of fits what you already do.
For sure.
But I think the shooting is kind of a disadvantage and it's kind of less cheesy now in the regular. So I did that for a while, and I think those are the only 2 archetypes I tried, and then I did a game at point guard and 2 games at small forward.
For sure.
So yes, I kind of play around, but for the most part, I want to get 100 games in. I'm averaging about 18 and 13, 18 and 14. I want to show them I can do that over 100 games, 200 games.
For sure.
So if I'm feeling bored with it at some point, maybe I'll play 1 or 2 games. Exactly. But for the most part, I want to show it's not a fluke. It's constant. I can do this for 400 games if you want. Exactly. So
that's dope. That's a good mind state to have, because you're having a lot of individuals who are like, I don't want to touch it. You know, they don't want to touch that route. So it's good that you're willing to prove exactly your skill sets, and from there you're only getting better. You're only helping yourself. You know, from that dynamic. So also I have to ask for, another thing in regards to, if you had one opportunity to provide some insight to a kid that's looking to get in the actual NBA 2K space, that is dealing with a parent who's saying gaming is not gaming is not long term, gaming is not something that you should be thinking about doing, what advice would you give to that kid?
I tell that kid to do their research and come to their parents with numbers.
Yes.
It's easy for you kind of parents, older generation, they kind of have a certain mindset about video games. And even still, like I said, I mean, I'm working in corporate America and doing, very textbook business school things. And even still, I have to talk to my parents like, yeah, I know it's video games, but I'm trying to tell you, there's millions of dollars in this. So it's like you have to just bring the stats, and at the end of the day, you play the game, you get better. A lot of people's parents won't understand necessarily until you get the first check-in. So you can still hone in on your craft and do things like Twitch and YouTube, and even if you're making $20 on YouTube or Twitch through streams or advertising and things like that, it's something to bring to the table to say, hey, this is where I'm at now. If you get behind me and you help me out with this, I can magnetize it. I can magnetize this. Sure, I'm saying the wrong word.
Sure.
Monetize this. There you go. For
now we're even.
Yeah, now we're even.
Now we're waiting.
Now we're even. So, but yeah, you can monetize this times 500. So it's just kind of coming with the facts and not letting your parent kind of deter you from kind of having that dream, because we're living in a time where you just need to go viral once.
Yes.
So you just need to go viral once doing something, and you can monetize it from there. And
you definitely could, man. Yeah. That's dope. Okay, so one of the cool things I like about this environment is it allows you to be able to learn from your individuals that you're around. It promotes good social, a social aspect to where you can gain some insight. So the next time you're here, feel free just to ask your, even today, like Steven, he's in there. He's a really good player, and he really studies the game. So it's always, we promote individuals being able to work together and get better, because the whole goal is, we're here in Dallas. We want to be able to one day be able to compete against Austin or Maryland or Miami to show, that we're a good team together. And it's due to us being able to come together and really respect each other's knowledge and learn from that dynamic. Cool? Yep. So, man, I really appreciate you coming out and being able to talk to us, man.
Yep, no problem.
Our whole platform is to be able to give individuals exposure. So, you help us, man, we'll definitely be able to help you.
I appreciate it. Trust me, I'm looking to be here a lot in the near future and going forward. So, like I said, I'm looking to see what you guys got going on, and also those Play Now games. You guys got those tournaments.
Yes, for sure.
I'm in the greatest of all time tier. I just want to say, greatest of all time tier. Also did that under 100 games. So I don't just do it in the pro, because some of these guys, they are terrible at Play Now.
For sure.
I do it in both. So if you guys had a tournaments, then I'll definitely be out for that.
And we definitely will. We definitely will. So that's the whole plan. We're going to really focus in on the pro-am, because the live perspective with 5 players against 5 players in here is insane.
I believe it.
Insane. So that's something that we really want to push out to get the individuals, and it helps for good spectating and viewership as well.
Yeah.
So definitely go compete. I know the time clock is ticking right now in regards to it closes at 11. If you get another game in, I'd love to be able to catch the next game, and then we'll go from there.
All right, perfect.
All right, man. Again, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Man.